Hi everyone, I'm here with your food journal assignment for those of you in English 1301. This is Dr. E, and I'm just going to walk through the basics of this assignment. Now, I want you to keep in mind that our goal for the food journal is to, on a very regular basis, kind of practice our writing, to think about our experiences, and to make some connections with those texts that we read or watch or listen to if it's a podcast. So we're doing those kinds of basics of a writing course, but we're also kind of keeping the long term in mind. This food journal assignment on an individual level will kind of keep adding to as the semester progresses, so that by the time we are many weeks into the semester, we will actually have a long writing assignment that satisfies our research essay requirements, but also lets us know that, hey, we can write these really long papers that we may need in other courses if we just take them one step at a time. Okay, let me go through all of this. So, we really want to focus on actively engaging and thinking critically about those texts that we read or watch, and also make sure that those are connecting to our own experiences. And that really requires us to push past this idea of summary. I think in academic writing, we are all we have this habit of relying a little too heavily on summary, and that is just the nature of how we write. It's the nature of how we think. So we want to make sure that as we're writing and thinking about these sources and our experiences, we are pushing past summary and really thinking critically, okay? So for each journal, you're going to create and upload a document. Now remember that it has to be a document that is compatible with Turnitin and with D2L, which means it needs to be in Word or PDF format. And it needs to go in the assignment area of D2L. This is nothing new for us, right? I'll provide a template that has MLA formatting and all of that kind of stuff. I say this, and I know some folks are still going to go to Google Docs and make their own MLA document. That's not going to meet the requirements, but please just go ahead and use the templates. You can access your free version of the Microsoft Office Suite here as a student, so that you can then download documents from D2L. Okay, so each entry in those food journal, individual weekly kinds of writings, should follow the assigned number of paragraphs, right? So in one, you may be asked to write 2 or 3, and another week you may be asked to write 4, or something of that. We're trying to take it step by step, right? So these are always going to relate to our general theme of food in the course. So of course, this is a really broad topic. If I say during one week, hey, write 3 paragraphs about food, what? I mean, where do you even start? That's such a broad topic. So each week, the prompts will help us narrow our focus a little bit, which is what we really always want to focus on doing with any kind of academic writing. Don't think too broadly, really narrow that focus. When quotes and research are required, right, you really want to be picky. I think a lot of us, again, it's just habit. If we're reading or listening to something or watching something, we are trying to find that easy quote that just, in a pinch is going to make sense, but we want to be really picky. The quote you choose to support your ideas should be important. It should be connected to the reading. It should, be connected to what it is you are writing about. So you want to follow MLA guidelines using quotation marks, making sure that you are very accurate. We don't want mistakes in our quotes, because that is misquoting people, right? No mistakes or errors unless those appear in the original text, right? Unless there's slang used in the text, or there's an intentional or even unintentional misspelling, that kind of thing. Use in-text citation format. You can please visit this website for examples. There's also an MLA video in our content area in the table of contents. It'll be in the MLA and help section. You need to make sure you're explaining the relevance of a quote. We don't want to just drop a quote in. This is quote dropping. This is a frustration of all writing instructors and all readers. If we're reading a paragraph and a quote is just seemingly dropped in the middle, so that we can check it off the list that we've included research. Don't do that. Use quotes and explain them, offer relevance, context, help your readers understand where that quote comes in, and what the meaning of that quote is in relation to what you're writing about. Part of what we do in academic writing is to give credit, but also include quotes from other sources to support our ideas, right? So for these weekly assignments, a full citation or works cited is not needed, so don't worry about that. It will eventually be required, so if you want to start doing that work and practicing those citations, you can absolutely do that, but that's not part of the weekly grades. Again, know that these journals will eventually become our food journal collection assignment. We're working to lay that foundation, right, for a longer piece. So I've given you a little kind of visual here so that all these different food journals are actually going to come together towards the end in this much larger assignment, okay? Here is a grading rubric. It's pretty simple and straightforward, and of course the points related to each of these criteria will change every week depending on the points of the writing. We usually start at the lower end for the first couple of food journals, and then as you get used to it, as you start to see feedback from me, those grades will increase, right? So just take some time to read through this and let me know if you have any questions or concerns. The first more formal kind of food journal will have more detailed instructions than the first you had. The first is just kind of, we're just dipping our toes into writing, and then we'll get more into MLA requirements, into incorporating research, into really thinking about our ideas. All right, so again, if you have any questions, let me know.